All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are talking about the Los Angeles Chargers in today's video because people are losing the plot. The Los Angeles Chargers are 6-3 right now. They've won 3 straight football games, and everyone's critique is the schedule. And it's like, well, first off, they don't even pick the schedule, but if you ask any Los Angeles Chargers fan, I guarantee you they are unbelievably pleased and happy with the season thus far. So I was reading an article on the Bleacher Report, and they were doing like one stat that defines every NFL team, and theirs was for the Los Angeles Chargers minus 2.4, and here's what they had to say. Average quality of opponent for the Chargers so far based on Pro Football Reference's simple rating system. Only the Bears have had an easier ride than Jim Harbaugh's team, which is likely to come back to earth defensively. And I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, I'm not ragging out on Bleacher Report or anything like that, but when I watch these Chargers games and I watch Harbaugh coach this team, and I see this defense, and I see Justin Herbert play, and I know what Justin Herbert is capable of, and I see J.K. Dobbins, and I see these guys like Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston, and I see some of these defensive players like Thule and Cam Hard and Bosa, obviously, and Mack, obviously, but they're such a complimentary football team right now, or they're becoming a complimentary football team, and Herbert's, honestly, now that the Chargers are 6-3 and one of the best teams, not only the AFC but the NFL, I think he might actually be the most underrated quarterback in the NFL, which is just crazy to utter in a sentence. But guys, before we get any further into today's video, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring it. More on that in just a minute. But hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We also post Chargers videos at least twice a week. So if we could try and get this video to 500 likes, folks, that would mean the absolute world to me. So on Sunday, the Los Angeles Chargers took on the Tennessee Titans, and Tennessee is sitting here at 2-7 thanks to that Chargers victory. And once again, the critique always is, well, let's wait and see till they play somebody good, and that's fair. They do have the Chiefs soon. They've got the Ravens next Monday. They got Cincinnati in 2 nights from now. It's about to get really interesting, but Herbert on Sunday threw 18 passes. He had 123.1 passer rating. He's now 6th in that category among qualified passers at 103.2. He completed 14 of those 18 passes, and 2 of those were drops. They both should have been touchdowns, to be honest. One of them was to Will Dissly. The other was to Hayden Hurst. They also ran the ball very well, 145 total yards of rushing. Gus Edwards is back in action, and it's going to change everything. We made a Chargers video last week talking about the inefficiency of the offense in general at times, right? That's what we're waiting to see with this Chargers team, is the consistency. And the running game consistency, even though JK's stats have been really good, it hasn't been the most efficient. They've been more so relying on bigger time plays, to Quentin Johnston, to Palmer, to Ladd, to JK, you name it. Gus Edwards coming back is huge, and he had 10 carries for 55 yards, and once again, 145 total rushing yards against a really good, stout Tennessee Titans defense. They also won the time of possession battle. They also had 0 total turnovers. Justin Herbert had 34 yards rushing. His 7 rushes were 5th most in a game in his career, but all of his runs were pretty critical, man, including that touchdown run. In fact, Justin Herbert, since week 7 in the passing game, has a 94.4 passing grade, 13 big-time throws, and most importantly, especially with Jim Harbaugh football. Before we get back into this video, once again, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring it. I want to show you something if you're feeling ballsy. The Los Angeles Chargers, and I know the Kansas City Chiefs are currently undefeated still, but the Chargers sitting here at 6-3, 3 straight wins. They're plus 1,400 over on BetUS to win this division here, the AFC West. Keep in mind, guys, they're also offering 150% bonus on your first deposit and also 125% bonus on your next 2, all with the code YouTube150. Let's get back to the video. 0 turnover-worthy plays for Justin Herbert since week 7, folks. This is a brand new era of Los Angeles Chargers football, and you're just kind of seeing it. We talk about this in the offseason, and we talk about this when coaches get fired. We talk about this when you're talking about teams like the Kansas City Chiefs or the San Francisco 49ers What a difference a coach makes, guys. In the 11 seasons before Harbaugh arrived, the Chargers made the playoffs only 3 times. They won more than 10 games only 1 time. They also had a losing season 5 times, including 4 with at least 11 losses. And so, one thing I was extremely impressed by with this Chargers team on Sunday is they're starting to close these games a little bit more convincingly. So, a lot of these Chargers games where you're watching it, it's like they're clearly the better football team, but the final score will be, 27-17, like the Tennessee Titans game. And they're putting points on the board and they're holding the defense. The defense has been phenomenal. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. But the Chargers put the game away at the end of the fourth quarter last weekend. They took the ball on their own 5-yard line. They went 95 total yards on 11 plays, only 1 total penalty. Of the 11 plays, 8 of them were runs, and that's just Jim Harbaugh football. So speaking of this complimentary team, where Harbaugh likes to have no turnovers, he likes to, dominate the time of possession, he likes to win in the trenches, this defense is doing phenomenal. The Chargers had 7 total sacks and held their opponent to 17 or fewer points for the 8th time this season on Sunday. They also held the Tennessee Titans to just 3 of 9 on third down. The Chargers are currently only allowing 12.9 points per game on defense, and that is by far the best mark in the entire NFL. No other defense is allowing fewer than 16 points, and the Chargers are holding teams to just 12.9. But once again, I get it. They're playing some not the best offenses at times, but once again, they don't pick their schedule. And the Chargers have also recorded 13 total sacks in their last 2 games. So once again, just to zoom out really quickly, complimentary football-wise, this is a process, and in half a year of this process with Jim Harbaugh, the Chargers are 6-3. They're 6-3 through 9 games, so they got 8 games left. If you go 4-4, you're sitting here at 10-7, and you are making the playoffs most likely. No AFC team that has won 10 games has missed the playoffs since the additional game to 17 regular season games. But a big reason why defensively outside of Bosa. And by the way, guys, their defense, specifically their secondary, has been absolutely decimated by injuries. It's like every week a new injury, a new starter gets banged up. And so guys are really stepping up. Just like rookie Cam Hart at the cornerback position in week 10 last week, he was targeted 9 total times. He allowed 5 receptions for 41 yards, only 4.6 yards per attempt. He also broke up a pass. This is a 5th-round rookie from Notre Dame. Another guy that most people don't even know. In fact, I really butcher his name, guys. I practice this for minutes before every Chargers video. Tuli Tuipulotu. Over the past 3 weeks in his sophomore campaign, 5.5 sacks. That is number 1 in the National Football League. So they're playing really good. You got a home matchup in your next 2 weeks against 2 big-time opponents in the AFC. Could have playoff implications. Got to take care of business on Sunday night against the Cincinnati Bengals. And then you enter an interesting stretch where you got Baltimore, you got Atlanta, you got Kansas City. And then it's Tampa, Denver, New England, Las Vegas. That's the season, man. This team is making the playoffs as far as I'm concerned. But I won't get too far ahead of myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button as always, and we will see you soon. Peace.